My beloved child, stop everything. I need your full attention because this cannot wait. I've been watching you in silence while you've cried behind closed doors, while you've questioned if I still see you, still care, still speak, and I am here now because I must speak to you directly. Heaven has been stirred with urgency because there is a shift already happening around you, and if you're not listening, you'll miss what is unfolding. You've asked me why certain things aren't moving, why the answers feel delayed, why you feel stuck in places that were once familiar but are now suffocating, and the reason is that I've allowed a divine pause, not to punish you but to position you. I didn't step away. I stepped closer. I didn't ignore your pain. I marked it. I didn't overlook your prayers. I timed them. But right now, you must hear me without any interference, without brushing off what I'm about to reveal, because there's a message I've kept sealed until now, and it concerns the next chapter of your life. Don't scroll past this moment or treat it like any other word, because this is not just information. This is intervention. You are on the edge of something holy, something dangerous to darkness and precious to my kingdom, and I can no longer remain silent while the enemy tries to whisper over your purpose. I've watched long enough. Now I speak. And when I speak, atmospheres break, timelines shift, bondages lose their grip, and your life realigns with heaven's decree. I must speak to you immediately, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when others validate it, but now, right now, because what I'm releasing will separate you from the old and usher you into what I prepared before time began, and I won't let you miss it because of delay. Every moment from here forward is carrying eternal weight, and the slightest hesitation could become an open door to regret that was never meant for you. My beloved child, I see the pressure you feel to play it safe, to stay comfortable, to calculate before you leap. But I did not design you to operate in fear when I've equipped you with discernment and power. Right now, there are angelic assignments waiting for your obedience, waiting for your surrender, waiting for your voice to align with mine. But the enemy knows how to dress delay as wisdom and hesitation as caution. I am not asking for recklessness. I am asking for immediate trust, because what is coming will not wait for those who remain undecided. The doors I'm unlocking will only swing open for those who step forward, not those who linger in the hallway of doubt. You've already missed moments in the past due to uncertainty, but I'm giving you this final nudge so that this moment won't become another memory of almost. I see what hesitation has cost others who didn't move when I called. I see how they forfeited peace, missed healing, and walked in cycles that weren't meant to last this long. And I won't let that be your story. That's why I'm speaking so directly, because you've reached a moment that matters more than you realize. There is a cost for pausing when I say go, and right now the weight of that decision is tipping, but if you respond to my voice now, if you move in the direction I'm pointing, everything that was locked, blocked, or delayed will begin to break open. You won't have to chase the blessing will overtake you, because you did hesitate when it mattered most. There is something unfolding beyond your current vision, something that will not wait for you to feel ready. My beloved child, I am not preparing you for today's comfort. I am shaping you for what's ahead, and the urgency of this moment is not just because of what is happening now, but because of what is about to be released in your life. I am placing you at a divine intersection where your readiness will determine whether you inherit the fullness of what I've ordained. You may think you have time, but I must tell you, the days ahead will demand a level of spiritual clarity and bold obedience that cannot be developed overnight. That is why I'm urging you now, because I see how quickly the enemy is assembling distractions tailored just for you, how circumstances are being arranged to look harmless, but are set up to slow you down at a critical time. I cannot allow you to walk blind into a future that has been strategically prepared both by heaven and by hell. What I see coming requires you to be anchored in me like never before, because if you're not deeply rooted now, you'll be uprooted later when pressure increases. There are relationships, environments, and habits you must release not because they are bad, but because they are not built to carry what's coming with you. The preparation I'm calling you into isn't just spiritual, it's strategic. I am sharpening your discernment, strengthening your stamina, and separating you from what you thought was necessary but has become a weight. This is the hour where you must rise in awareness, because the instructions I'm about to give you won't make sense to those around you. And if you're not prepared, you'll ignore my whisper in favor of their opinions. I'm not warning you to scare you. I'm calling you higher so that when the next assignment is released, you're already positioned. What you do with this moment will shape more than your personal breakthrough. It will ripple through generations, because the mantle you carry is heavier than you think. Prepare, not with panic, but with intentional surrender, because this isn't just a passing word. It's a divine briefing for what is already arriving. You've learned to survive with silence, to wear strength like a disguise, and to carry pain with a quiet resolve. But my beloved child, I never intended for you to endure any of this without leaning on me fully. I see how you've learned to adapt in the absence of understanding, how you've taught yourself to smile while your soul trembled beneath the weight of unspoken burdens. You've been strong for too long, but strength without surrender becomes suffocating. I didn't create you to navigate this life in your own limited capacity. I never asked you to figure it all out, to force your way through every hardship, or to become numb just to keep going. That is the lie of the world, not my voice. I am not applauding your isolation. I am inviting you into relief. Let me in, not just into the places you've cleaned up, but into the rooms of your heart where everything feels too heavy, too confusing, too painful to explain. You don't have to carry this next chapter with yesterday's weight. You've trusted people who broke your heart, leaned on those who let go, and tried to carry the pieces without asking me to heal what shattered. But I am not like them. I do not abandon. I do not grow tired of your process. I do not get overwhelmed by your questions. I am still here, asking you to trade your burdens for my peace, your fear for my assurance, your silence for my voice. You think strength is never asking for help, but true power is knowing when to hand over what you were never meant to manage. You were never meant to be your own savior. I see how the weight is affecting you, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and I am saying this with love and urgency. Let it go before it breaks you. I will carry it with you, walk with you, and restore the parts of you that were worn thin from carrying what was never yours. I am not here to watch you struggle. I came to rescue, to restore, to realign, and I am not asking for perfection. I'm asking for permission to step in right now, before the breaking point. You can feel it, can't you? The stirring in the atmosphere, the sudden shift in your spirit that makes everything feel more intense, more sensitive, more pressing. That's not your imagination. That's me awakening your soul to a level it has not yet experienced. My beloved child, you've walked with a surface-level awareness long enough, interpreting events through what you see with your eyes and what you feel in your emotions. But what I'm inviting you into now is not a walk based on feeling. It is a walk rooted in divine insight. The things that are unfolding around you cannot be navigated with shallow perception or human logic. There are spiritual realities taking place in parallel with your daily life, and unless you begin to discern them, you will be blindsided by circumstances you were supposed to see coming. That is why I'm speaking with urgency, not because I'm angry, not because I'm disappointed, but because the time for you to wake up to the fullness of what I'm revealing has arrived. I need you to recognize the spiritual tone of this hour. There are doors that are about to close permanently, and if you hesitate, you will miss the divine exit from places I never intended for you to remain. At the same time, there are hidden paths I am about to expose, but they can only be seen through spiritual eyes, not human planning. The enemy has camouflaged traps to look like opportunities, distractions to look like relationships, and delays to look like detours. But if you lean into me, I will sharpen your sight. I will train your spirit to see beyond the visible, to sense the unseen, and to walk with confidence where others are confused. But that awareness begins now, and it begins with surrender. I cannot release higher revelation to a heart that is still married to its comfort zone. I must remove the fog that has dulled your sensitivity, because the next things I speak will not be shouted. They will be whispered. If you miss the whisper, you miss the way out. I am not trying to overwhelm you, I am trying to awaken you. This season will not give you time to always pause and question whether it is me speaking. You must know my voice so well, so clearly, that when I say move, you obey without delay. Because time is collapsing in the spirit. What once took years is now happening in days, and what was once tolerated in your life can no longer coexist with your assignment. I am separating noise from truth, imitation from substance, motion from progress, so you stop chasing what has no eternal value. I am exposing distractions that wear spiritual clothing but have no divine instruction. I am calling you higher, deeper, closer, and I will not allow your life to remain in the shallow when I have marked you for the depths. I am raising your awareness so you stop accepting every thought as your own, every feeling as truth, every delay as mine. Not everything that slows you is sent by me. Some things are sent to keep you stuck. But with spiritual awareness, you will discern when to stay and when to leave, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to fight and when to stand still. I will teach you how to see the spirit behind the situation, because this is not just life. This is warfare. This is not just coincidence, this is orchestration. And the reason time is no longer on your side is because there are divine alignments set to arrive. And if you're not aware, you'll walk past what was meant to shift your destiny. This is a clarion call from heaven to pay attention, to stop drifting, to silence the noise, to recalibrate your focus, because I am releasing instructions that will change the trajectory of your life. But they can only be received by those who are awake in the spirit. So shake off the drowsiness, break out of the routine, step away from everything numbing your sensitivity, because you cannot afford to miss what I'm showing you next. You think I haven't noticed the subtle compromises, the silent postponements, the well-justified reasons that have caused you to pause instead of move. But I have seen each one, not with judgment, but with urgency. My beloved child, I am not watching from a distance. I am inside every moment you hesitate, every hour lost to procrastination, every dream placed on hold because you were unsure, fearful, or simply overwhelmed. I see the way you've convinced yourself that you're just waiting on the right moment, when in truth, it is the weight of fear that has held your feet to the ground. And I cannot allow that anymore. These delays are no longer harmless. They are costing you access to things I already unlocked. These distractions, some that appear innocent, others disguised as obligations, have become barriers to clarity, intimacy, and forward movement. You've wondered why certain prayers feel unanswered, why some things feel like they are repeating in cycles, and why breakthroughs keep appearing just out of reach. And I must speak now, because the root is not delay from heaven but entanglement on earth. The excuses you've believed have stolen days, even seasons, from your purpose. But I have not come to condemn you. I've come to break the cycle. I want to deliver you from the inner voices that whisper not yet, when I've already said now. I want to release you from the bondage of overthinking that paralyzes your progress. I want to remove the layers of mental clutter and emotional fog that keep you distracted while divine moments pass by unnoticed. You've normalized spiritual hesitation, thinking it's humility, but it's really warfare masked in caution. And I need to intervene before you forfeit what was supposed to already be in your hands. The enemy has exploited every small compromise, magnified every little delay, and woven a narrative that makes an activity feel safe. But I am exposing it all today. I'm not asking you to move faster. I'm asking you to move with clarity. And for that, I must free you from what's been interrupting my voice. I must dismantle the noise that makes you second-guess what I already confirmed. You've been pulled in directions that don't carry your assignment. You've been entertaining conversations, environments, and responsibilities that don't align with the instructions I've given you, and they've kept you from being fully present in the places I've called you to dominate. But I am here to cut the cords of distraction. I am severing the soul ties to delay. I am silencing the whispers of doubt that have convinced you that timing belongs to you when it has always belonged to me. What I declared over you was not vague, not conditional, not someday. It was meant to unfold with your full participation. But participation requires clarity, And clarity requires freedom. Freedom from the patterns you've adopted to avoid the risk of obedience. This freedom I'm offering will not come through ease, it will come through surrender. I'm asking you to lay down the habit of avoidance, the comfort of routine, the shield of excuses. The longer you carry them, the heavier they become, and I never designed you to carry what disables your destiny. I've allowed a divine confrontation in your spirit today so that you don't carry yesterday's hesitation into tomorrow's breakthrough. You're not too late, but you are at the edge. This is the moment where you either agree with my voice or continue agreeing with the delay. And I cannot bless what you refuse to release. So open your hands, open your heart, open your mind, and let me extract every lie that has kept you distracted, every fear that has made excuses sound rational, every delay that has chained your progress to the past. I am calling you out now, not to expose you, but to liberate you. This is not just correction, this is rescue. I'm not giving you time to prepare. I'm giving you permission to be free right now. There is a sacred urgency pressing on the atmosphere around you, a moment carved out from eternity that will not remain open indefinitely. My beloved child, I have held this space open for you, not because you earned it, but because I chose you to walk through it. But hear me clearly. Windows of divine opportunity are not endless. They are appointed. They are birthed by my timing, sustained by your sensitivity, and sealed by your obedience. The one before you right now is narrowing, not as a threat, but as a warning that delay has a price when purpose is knocking. I have prepared things for you that were never meant to be accessed later. They are for this precise hour. There are blessings, encounters, assignments, and alignments that are contingent upon this moment, and if you keep waiting for convenience, you will find the window shut and the season shifted. This is not fear, this is clarity. I do not move according to human comfort, and I do not hold open divine doors while you negotiate with fear or comfort zones. You've prayed for change, cried for answers, longed for breakthrough, and now, I am responding, but it looks like an instruction that demands immediate action. I have brought people, words, confirmations, and even disruptions to pull you toward this moment, and still, you wrestle with the urge to hesitate. But I must speak plainly. This hesitation is not harmless. What I'm showing you requires immediacy. Not panic. Not impulse. Obedience. And not the kind that waits until you have all the steps, but the kind that moves even when it only sees the beginning. This window is tied to shifts in the spirit that will not wait for emotional certainty. You're not waiting on peace. You're being invited into faith that creates peace as you move. I am calling you to cross thresholds that can only be entered now, before the rhythm of life pulls you back into distraction, before the old cycles reassert themselves, before the enemy builds a counterfeit doorway to detour your destiny. I am not telling you this to scare you. I am telling you this to awaken the urgency buried beneath your overthinking. I see the weight you've been carrying, the questions that crowd your thoughts, the longings that have gone unfulfilled, and I am saying, the fulfillment is on the other side of this window. Here is a spiritual transaction happening right now. Heaven is releasing, and you must be aligned to receive. There are things that won't come by simply waiting. They will come by bold response. You keep wondering, what if I'm not ready? But readiness isn't a feeling, it's a posture. It's not about being perfect. It's about being positioned. And I've positioned you through every storm, every delay, every broken moment, every tear. All of it was preparation, not punishment. But now, the preparation is complete, and it's time to act. This window is not just about your personal blessing. It's about the people waiting on your yes, the assignments that can only be activated by your movement, the doors that unlock only when you step forward. Do not look at your limitations, look at my promise. Do not measure your capacity, trust in my power. I'm not asking you to understand the whole picture. I'm asking you to step through the frame I'm placing before you now. This moment matters more than you can comprehend. One act of obedience right now will echo through realms you haven't even seen. If you walk away from this window, you will survive. but you will miss what was divinely appointed to transform your life. I want more than your survival. I want your acceleration. But acceleration only comes through movement, not through delay, not through negotiation, not through fear disguised as wisdom. This is your divine interruption. This is heaven shouting over every other voice. The window is still open, but not for long. Lou, you've whispered prayers beneath your breath, thinking I didn't hear. You've scanned the sky, questioned your dreams, analyzed conversations, and begged for a signal that proves I'm still guiding you, and all along, I've been sending them. My beloved child, I am the one who stirred your heart when you were about to give up, who interrupted your sleep with thoughts you couldn't shake, who placed that scripture in front of your eyes when you needed direction, who sent the right person to speak words you hadn't voiced aloud to anyone. These were not coincidences, they were coded confirmations, Evan's fingerprints marking the path. But I know your heart has still been searching for something louder, something undeniable, something you could not misinterpret. So here I am, not through whispers this time, but with clarity that demands your full attention. This moment, right here, right now, is the confirmation you've been waiting for. You thought you needed more evidence, but what you truly needed was assurance that you weren't making it up. I see how deeply you desire to please me, how afraid you are of missing me, how you hesitate because you don't want to take a step without my blessing. And I honor that heart. But this is not a time for overthinking. This is a time for movement backed by confirmation. And I tell you this with love, stop looking backwards for more validation when I've already placed the answer before you. You were not wrong to believe what I showed you before. You were just early in understanding how I would bring it to pass. The signs weren't delayed. You were being matured to recognize them for what they truly were. When you felt the fire inside reignite suddenly, when that door unexpectedly reopened, when your heart started stirring again for something you thought was over, those were my signs, and this is your seal. I am not a God of confusion. I am not silent when my children seek me sincerely. What you're feeling right now is not anxiety, it's activation. Your spirit knows I'm here. Your soul knows this is me. And still, I'm giving you this moment to solidify everything, not with emotion, but with truth. You don't need another prophetic word. This is the moment I speak directly. You don't need to poll others for consensus. The answer is already in your spirit. I'm not asking you to wonder anymore. I'm giving you certainty. The way ahead may not be simple, but it will be right. The path may not be paved with ease, but it will be covered with my hand. You were not overlooked. You were not forgotten. You were not deceived when you thought you saw glimpses of my promise. You just didn't realize how precise my timing would be. And now, the time has come to act. You asked, I answered. You knocked, I opened. You waited, and now I'm confirming. Not everyone around you will understand this urgency, because the sign wasn't given to them. It was for you. The dream, the word, the stirring, it had your name on it. And now the instruction has arrived. Follow it. Trust it. Don't hesitate because others can't see what I revealed in your spirit. They weren't there when I gave the vision. They didn't feel what you felt when I spoke in the stillness. I am confirming because I don't want you to look back later and say, was that really you, Lord? I am anchoring you in the knowing, not in your mind, but in your spirit. The clarity you feel now is not temporary. It is supernatural. This confirmation carries power to cancel every lie that told you to stay small, stay safe, stay silent. It destroys every delay that came through doubt. And it breathes life back into the places you thought were lost. I have confirmed it. Now walk in it. You've been wondering if I've gone silent, but the truth is, I've only increased the volume. My beloved child, you think you're missing my voice, but I've been amplifying it in ways that go beyond words. The ache in your chest that won't subside, that's me trying to get your attention. The doors that slammed shut without warning, I was the one who closed them before they could collapse on you. The conversations that shook you, the messages that pierced your spirit, the restlessness that won't let you settle where you once felt secure. That is me, not hiding, not whispering, but roaring through the details of your daily life. You no longer need to strain your ears. You need to open your eyes. I'm speaking in the tension you feel, in the divine interruptions that won't let you continue as if nothing is changing. I am surrounding you with signs, with patterns that keep pointing to the same truth. You cannot stay where you are, and you cannot ignore me anymore. I have turned up the volume through people who don't even realize they are being used to confirm what I've been planting in your heart for weeks. I have raised my voice in the sudden endings that forced you to reevaluate everything. I've declared my truth through unexpected routes, spiritual turbulence, and divine restlessness, all to awaken what was going dormant in you. You've mistaken my urgency for discomfort, but it's me breaking through every barrier you've built to protect yourself from change. I am not being quiet. I am being insistent. And I need you to stop looking for me in only gentle tones and soft reassurances. I am also the God of thunder, the one who shakes what must be shaken so that what is unshakable can remain. I am sounding an alarm inside you because the season has shifted and your posture must follow. My voice is not just echoing through sermons and psalms that's etched into moments you thought were random. The dream that startled you awake, the timing that felt too precise to be accidental, the atmosphere that changed when you walked into that room, that was me speaking with purpose. I'm not being subtle anymore because subtlety won't move you where I need you to go. I have been tender, but now I am urgent. You've waited for some divine download, but I've been broadcasting on every frequency around you, hoping you'd finally tune in. I am not hidden. I am not testing your ability to hear. I am demonstrating just how far I'll go to ensure you don't miss this moment. The truth is, you've heard me. You've known it was me all along. The tension isn't about clarity, it's about surrender. You've heard the call but resisted the cost. You felt the pull but feared the unknown. But I can't let you settle for fragments when I've prepared fullness. That's why the noise is increasing, the pressure intensifying, the atmosphere growing heavy with revelation. It's not chaos, it's awakening. The signs will only get louder until you move, until you obey, until you shift from observation to activation. Don't ask me to lower the volume when the purpose of this season is to elevate your response. I'm not trying to overwhelm you, I'm trying to ignite you. I've waded through your questions, endured your delays, loved you through your uncertainty, but now I must stir you through the storm. Because storms get attention. Winds shift focus. Thunder silences all distractions. I am not shouting to condemn, I am shouting to commission. And my voice is not just calling you, it's pushing you. Pushing you out of old patterns, pushing you into new dimensions, pushing you away from fear and into faith that won't let go. You no longer need to wonder if it's me. Everything around you is crying out, and so am I. You've been carrying a weight inside your chest, one that doesn't show on your face, but drains your soul quietly, steadily, without mercy. My beloved child, that heaviness you can't explain, the pressure that keeps you up at night, the emotional tightness that clings even in moments of stillness, it is not a curse. It is not my anger. It is not some hidden punishment for past failures. It is the echo of heaven knocking on your heart, calling you to rise, to shift, to step into what I've designed you for. That tension you feel isn't random. It's not just stress or fatigue. It's the spiritual weight of a life that's being called higher. You're not being crushed. You're being summoned. What you're feeling is not an enemy's attack. It's the mark of divine urgency. This is how I stir my chosen ones. I disrupt what they've learned to manage. I unsettle what they've grown used to. I make the ground beneath their old habits quake so they can no longer build on what was never meant to last. You've been too quiet about what you're really going through. You've tried to act strong, tried to pray it away, tried to drown it in distractions, but none of it has worked, has it? Because I'm not letting you go back to a life that keeps your spirit asleep. You are called. You are marked. And now, I'm placing a divine weight on you, not to crush your hope, but to ignite it. I'm placing urgency inside you so intense, so loud, so inescapable, that you can no longer pretend you're okay staying where you are. This isn't oppression, it's acceleration. You are being pulled into alignment, and the discomfort you feel is the breaking away from everything that's been slowing your spirit down. This is me moving within you, not outside of you, because this time, I'm not just changing your surroundings, I'm reshaping your inner world. I'm calling you to step into what you were born for, not when it feels convenient, but now, because this burden is your burning bush, your moment of divine interruption, your invitation to deeper intimacy and undivided obedience. You've been waiting for peace before you move, but I'm telling you, this very wait is my hand on your life. I didn't send ease, I sent fire. Because fire refines, fire exposes, fire purifies. I am using this heaviness to make you aware of just how real this moment is. I am not asking you to carry it forever. I'm asking you to recognize what it means. It is not a signal to retreat. It is a trumpet to advance. You've been faithful in small places, but now the atmosphere around you is demanding expansion. And with expansion comes prayer, not to punish but to propel. I am not absent in your pain. I am inside it, molding you, stretching you, awakening parts of you that have been dormant far too long. Do not mislabel what you feel. Do not let the enemy convince you that this is the end of something. No, this is the beginning. This is the stirring before the shift. This is the ache that precedes the anointing. I am drawing you out of shallow waters into a current of destiny that cannot be entered casually. You don't need to feel strong, you just need to yield. Let the weight bring you to your knees, not in despair but in surrender. Because it is there, at your lowest, that I release my greatest strength. You don't need to understand it all. You just need to respond. Don't ignore this burden. Don't escape it. Don't numb it. Embrace it, because I placed it. And what I place always points to purpose. This is your moment to say yes without knowing what's next. This is your call to break the silence, to rise from delay, to let go of resistance, and to finally follow the sound of my voice, not because it's easy, but because it's undeniable. You asked me to speak. Now I'm moving through your spirit like thunder through a still sky, and you must not wait any longer to respond. There are things happening beyond what your eyes can detect, and I refuse to let you walk unaware any longer. My beloved child, while you've been focused on the visible, the delays, the disappointments, the unexpected struggles, there has been a war unfolding in the unseen. The enemy has been weaving traps with subtlety, not in the loud moments, but in the quiet corners of your routine. And because I love you with a love that never sleeps, I am pulling the veil back. I will no longer let you be blindsided by forces that smile on the surface, but war against your calling in secret. There have been conversations you weren't invited to, alliances formed against your purpose, thought patterns sown while you were resting, and distractions dressed up as blessings, all sent to confuse, delay, and detour what I've declared over you. But I have seen every scheme. I have watched the setups in the dark. I have heard the lies whispered to make you doubt your identity. And now I am exposing all of it, not to shame you but to defend you. Because you've been questioning yourself, thinking maybe you were the problem, maybe your prayers weren't enough, maybe your faith was too small, but no, it wasn't you. It was war. And I'm revealing it now because the victory I'm about to bring requires you to see clearly who the real enemy is. You've been fighting symptoms when I need you to strike the root. I will show you who and what has been draining your strength, consuming your time, and contaminating your clarity. I will expose every false alignment, every deceptive voice, every compromise you didn't realize was costing you peace. I'm doing it out of mercy, not judgment, because I can't let you build a future on foundations that have been secretly weakening from within. This exposure is my protection. I'm going to reveal conversations, surface motives, hidden intentions, not to stir anger, but to give you freedom. You will no longer invest your energy into things that are not assigned to your next chapter. I will make it clear. I will shine light on what was trying to blend in. I am revealing these things now because I need your trust to rest on truth, not on illusion. Some connections will suddenly shift. Some invitations will stop coming. Some access will be denied where you once had favor. Don't fight it. Don't chase it. Don't beg for what I remove. I am dismantling the distractions that look helpful but are rooted in sabotage. I am uncovering the weight you've been carrying that didn't belong to you. And when it lifts, you'll understand why the past season felt heavier than it should have. This is not a punishment. This is precision. I'm pruning what cannot continue into where I'm taking you. I'm extracting what was sent to silently pull you backward. Even some of your habits will feel uncomfortable now, because I'm awakening you to the influence behind them. You're not just changing routines, you're changing realms. And that requires discernment that only comes through revelation. What I'm revealing will shift how you speak, how you pray, how you position yourself. I'm giving you insight you didn't ask for, because love does that. Love exposes before destruction arrives. And I love you too much to let you walk into a snare disguised as opportunity. I'm not just tearing down enemy plans. I'm making you aware so they don't return. This unveiling will cause grief, clarity, and ultimately, release. You are being freed from what had access to you without permission. You're about to see with spiritual eyes what your natural vision missed. Don't panic as I remove the covering. Rejoice, because what I expose, I also heal. What I reveal, I also restore. And what I bring into the light, I protect with my own hand. Stay close, stay open, stay willing to let go. I am showing you what's been hiding in plain sight, because I cannot bless what you're blind to, and I won't let you step into victory dragging invisible chains. I have seen the shadows creep into your mind, whispering that no one understands, that no one notices, that no one cares. You've walked through rooms filled with people and still felt invisible. You've spoken words that bounced back as silence. You've cried into pillows, waiting for comfort that never came the way you hoped. And in those moments, the lie began to take root. The lie that you were abandoned, overlooked, forgotten. But my beloved child, I must break that lie today with truth that does not waver. You have never been alone. Not once. Not even for a second. You may have felt isolation in your emotions, but my presence never left your side. While you were falling apart quietly, I was holding you together invisibly. When you whispered prayers you couldn't finish, I was already working on the answer. When your tears soaked the places no one else saw, I was counting each one like treasure. I do not step away when pain increases. I draw closer. Your humanity may not perceive me the way it used to when you were surrounded by joy or stability, but my closeness is not determined by your feelings. It is anchored in covenant. I made a promise to never leave or forsake you, and I don't break my promises, not even when you break down. I know you've been questioning everything, your purpose, your worth, even your ability to keep going. But even as you were questioning me, I was surrounding you with mercy. You've been deceived into thinking your silence pushed me away, but in truth, it made me lean in. I've been speaking in the quiet places, walking beside you when you felt most unseen, catching every sigh that never made it into a sentence. You assume my silence meant distance, but it was depth. I was waiting for the noise to stop long enough for you to finally sense my heartbeat again. I'm not afraid of your sadness. I'm not disappointed in your doubts. I'm not distancing myself because of your fear. I'm right here, closer than the breath you forget you're breathing, more constant than the heartbeat you don't control. I've walked every hallway with you. I've been in every room you wept in. I've stood in every battle where you thought you had no backup. You're not walking this path by yourself. The weight you've been carrying wasn't meant for your shoulders. That's why it's been so heavy. You weren't designed to bear it alone, because I never expected you to live without me. The enemy has worked tirelessly to isolate your thoughts, to convince you that because people disappointed you, I would too. He's fed you narratives that equated silence with abandonment, hardship with rejection, emptiness with failure. But he's a liar. And I am here to expose that lie with my presence. Even now, as you hear these words, something inside you is awakening again, not because of poetic comfort, but because my spirit is touching the places no one else knows how to reach. I am reviving what hopelessness tried to bury. I am speaking identity back into the soul that thought it was fading. I am placing my hand on the shoulder that's been trembling, and I'm saying, "You are mine. You are not alone. I am with you in the valley. I am beside you in the silence. I am ahead of you in the unknown. Even when you can't see me, trust that I'm working. Even when you can't feel me, believe that I'm holding you. You've never had to earn my presence. It's been your inheritance all along. My nearness is not based on performance, it's based on love. And my love doesn't leave when things get dark. It becomes the light you need. So breathe again. Lift your eyes. I'm not somewhere far above waiting for you to reach me. I'm here, right now, whispering your name, wrapping you in grace, filling the emptiness with my nearness. Let every lie that said you were forgotten dissolve in the truth that you are seen, chosen, surrounded, and never, ever walking this journey alone. You've been trying to name the unrest within you, labeling it stress, fatigue, confusion, or emotional exhaustion, but none of those words have captured the full weight of what's been happening inside. My beloved child, what you're experiencing isn't ordinary discomfort, it's holy disruption. I am moving within you, disturbing what has become too familiar, too fixed, too foundational, not because I want to harm you, but because what once sustained you can no longer support the glory I am preparing to release through you. The trembling in your soul, the restlessness that won't let you settle, it's not a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that something sacred is shifting. I am not allowing your spirit to stay settled in places I'm about to remove. I am shaking relationships that were never rooted in me. I am loosening your grip on routines that kept you distracted. I am unsettling false comfort zones that have hidden fear under the mask of stability. What you built for safety I am now dismantling for your growth. I will not let you fortify what I've destined to be temporary. I am calling you higher, and that means you cannot carry everything with you. You've prayed for me to take you deeper, but deeper doesn't come without excavation. I must stir the foundations of your thinking, your patterns, even your identity, not to destroy but to rebuild you on what cannot be moved. You've been clinging to what worked in a previous season, but this new realm I'm ushering you into requires a new foundation, one forged not in control, but in surrender. And surrender begins when shaking starts. You're not unstable, you're being repositioned. The very tension you feel is proof that I'm clearing out what has settled in your soul without permission. This shaking is my mercy. I'd rather disturb your temporary comfort than let you miss your eternal calling. I am making you uncomfortable with what you used to tolerate. I'm breaking the silence around areas you've learned to numb. I'm confronting what you've been avoiding, because you can't carry compromise into destiny. I know it feels like things are falling apart, but they are actually falling into divine order. The ground beneath you is not crumbling, it's being refined. I am testing what has been hidden, surfacing what needs to be healed, exposing what needs to be surrendered. The patterns, relationships, even dreams that are beginning to feel strained are not being taken from you. They are being evaluated by me. What cannot withstand this shaking is not strong enough to carry your future. And I will not let you build a life that cannot endure. You've mistaken the trembling for weakness, but it is actually strength being born. I am toughening your roots while I remove the scaffolding of false security. I'm retraining your soul to depend on me, not on what feels familiar. That unease in your chest is not something to silence. It's something to listen to. That feeling of something's not right is not random. It's divine discernment rising. I am fine-tuning your ability to detect the counterfeit. You've asked for wisdom. Now I'm giving you sensitivity. And that means things that used to feel right will now feel off. You're not losing your peace. You're outgrowing your old boundaries. You're not being punished. You're being pulled forward. And sometimes I must let the ground quake so you will stop building on what was never blessed. Don't be afraid of the shaking. Don't run back to what's cracking. Don't try to fix what I'm breaking. Let it fall. Let it shift. Let me replace it. Because what I build will last, and what I root will stand. I am the one causing the disturbance, because I love you too much to let you settle in what will one day collapse. You asked me to take you deeper. This is what the deep feels like. Now walk through the shaking knowing I'm the one stirring the ground beneath your feet. Not to harm you, but to establish you. You've handed me so much already. Your tears, your wounds, your questions, your broken pieces. I've received them all with tenderness, and I've walked with you through the valleys that others never even knew existed. But my beloved child, there is still one area, one corner of your heart, that you've kept guarded, hidden behind layers of reasoning, fear, and the illusion of control. I've waited patiently, speaking gently, nudging your spirit in moments of stillness, but now the time has come to speak plainly. That part you're holding back is costing you the fullness of what I long to release. You've surrendered the visible, but this hidden place, the one you've called off limits, is still shaping the way you live, pray, and trust. You don't speak of it much, but I see how it influences every decision. I see how it whispers doubt into every promise I give. I see how it casts shadows on every new beginning. And I can't allow you to continue walking while carrying something that was never meant to stay. I'm not asking for that era because I want to take something from you. I'm asking for it because it's already taking too much from you. The bitterness you buried beneath logic, the secret fear of failing again, the silent vow to never open up like that again. Those things are not keeping you safe. They are keeping you small. They are restricting your ability to fully believe, to fully obey, to fully walk in what I've called you to. I am shining my light into this space now because you've come too far to be held back by what you've hidden. This isn't punishment. This is precision. I'm aggressing the very thing that's been leaking strength from your soul, that's been distorting how you see me and how you see yourself. I know it's vulnerable. I know it hurts. I know it feels risky. But trust me, surrendering it won't destroy you. It will deliver you. You think you need to keep holding it together, but what you actually need is to let me hold you as it comes undone. This area you've compartmentalized is not separate from your spiritual life. It's directly tied to it. It's the root of why your joy has been inconsistent. It's why the peace doesn't stay long. It's why you struggle to move forward even when the door is open. I love you too much to let that go unspoken. You've been surviving with that unspoken burden. But I did not call you to survive. I called you to overflow. And overflow can't happen when part of you is locked away. I already know what's behind that door. I was there when it formed. I was present when it broke you. I saw when you decided no one would ever access that place again, not even me. But I never stopped standing at that door. I've knocked without forcing, waited without abandoning, and now I speak without apology. Let me in. Let me have the part of your heart you've edited out of your prayers. Let me touch the memory you've labeled too messy. Let me speak over the place you've believed would always remain off limits. I don't need you to clean it up before you hand it over. I just need you to trust that I won't walk away once I see it. The truth is, I've already seen it, and I still chose you. But I can't heal what you will surrender. And I can't bless what you refuse to release. This is the moment. Not tomorrow, not later, not when you feel ready. Al, his silence has run on long enough. I am not ashamed of you, and I will not recoil when you open the door. I will walk in with healing in my hands and peace in my voice. And I will not leave you the same. I'm not asking for a part of you. I'm asking for all of you. Because what I'm about to do next requires nothing hidden, nothing restrained, nothing sealed shut. Will you open your hand? Will you trust me with the one thing you swore you'd never surrender? This is the hour. Let me in. You've done your best to mask it. beneath your smiles, beneath your strength, beneath your daily routines, hoping that if you just kept moving, if you just stayed productive, if you just avoided the silence, maybe I wouldn't notice what you've tried to bury. But my beloved child, I don't see as man sees. I don't glance at the surface and walk away. I gaze past the outer layers, deep into the places you've cordoned off, and what I see, I love completely. You've tried to pretend it doesn't hurt anymore. You've convinced yourself that time has erased it. You've practiced answers that sound strong. But when the world is quiet, and your guard slips for a moment, the pain still pulses, doesn't it? That moment, that failure, that wound you never speak of. I see it, and I'm not going to leave it untouched. I have no intention of bypassing the very thing that still bleeds beneath your control. I know what you fear I'll see. I know you think if I come close to it, I'll step back in disappointment, or turn away because of the mess. But you must hear me now. I came for the mess. I came for the places you're ashamed of. I came for the parts of you that still flinch when someone gets too close emotionally. That hiding place, the one you've locked with excuses and numbed with distractions, I've been standing outside of it longer than you realize. I haven't stopped knocking. I haven't grown tired of waiting. I haven't changed my mind about you. You think my pursuit is conditional, that I'll only keep coming if you stay perfect, if you never stumble again, if you manage to maintain the image of being okay. But that's not my love. That's fear disguised as control. And I didn't come to control you. I came to free you. I've watched you build walls that were meant to protect you but have now become prisons. You've confused safety with silence. You've mistaken distance for survival. But I won't let you live behind the facade of strength when I die to give you wholeness. I know the thoughts you think but never say. I know the memories that keep revisiting you in the quiet. I know the guilt you carry for things you blame yourself for, even if you weren't the one at fault. I know it all, and I still choose you. I still pursue you. I still call you mine. You don't have to clean it up before letting me see it. I already saw it on the cross. I bore the weight of it so you wouldn't have to. I'm not asking for performance. I'm asking for permission. Let me into the part you've convinced yourself I wouldn't want. Let me sit with you in the space you've labeled too far gone. I am not surprised by your brokenness. I anticipated it and came with healing in hand. And I won't stop knocking. I won't stop calling your name. I won't stop sending reminders of my nearness, even if you've tried to tune me out. I'm the shepherd who leaves the 99 to chase the one, and right now, I'm after your heart. Not the part you've polished, but the part you've tried to protect from even me. You may think hiding keeps you safe, but it's actually keeping you stuck. And I won't stop pursuing until you know what freedom truly feels like. I am not pacing in frustration outside your heart's door. I am waiting in unwavering love. You're not a disappointment. You're not a burden. You're not too far gone. You are the reason I've been so persistent. I see the real you. The one behind the pain. The one beneath the silence. The one still yearning to be fully known and still fully loved. And I promise you this. I won't walk away when you open the door. I'll walk in, sit with you in the dust, and stay until healing rewrites everything shame tried to define. I am here, still calling, still pursuing, still wanting all of you, even the parts you're afraid to show. There can no longer be a division within you. My beloved child, this is not the time for partial obedience, selective trust, or half-measured devotion. I need you, completely. I am not speaking in riddles or whispers anymore. I am laying it bare because the hour is too urgent for compromise. What I'm asking for is not a piece of your attention, not a sliver of your will, not a moment here or there. I'm calling for the full weight of your heart. Not because I want to control you, but because I want to release you. You've given me parts before, and I've honored them. The moments you trusted me in pain, I received. The areas you opened, I began to heal. but there's still a part of you holding back, lingering between full surrender and self-protection. And I must confront that today, not to wound, but to awaken. You've walked with one foot in my promises and one foot planted in your fallback plans. You've declared my name with sincerity, yet secretly kept alternatives in case obedience felt too costly. But I tell you now, divided hearts cannot carry undivided destiny. I cannot pour the fullness of my spirit into a vessel that's still reserved for lesser loves. I will not compete with your fears. I will not share space with idols you've disguised as wisdom, comfort, or self-reliance. You've asked me to move in power, but power cannot rest in places where surrender is part-time. I'm not asking for performance. I'm asking for presence. I'm not interested in perfection. I'm inviting you into purity, the kind that comes not from striving but from handing me everything, even what you don't yet understand. I know what you're thinking. What if I give it all and nothing changes? What if I lay it down and it hurts? But the truth is, what you're clutching now is already costing you. The weight of holding back is heavier than the cost of letting go. And I promise, where surrender feels like loss, I will meet you with overwhelming gain. You will never release something to me and receive less in return. I'm not here to take from you. I'm here to break what's been taken from you. Your peace, your clarity, your joy, they've been stifled by divided loyalties. You don't have to be tangled anymore. You don't have to wrestle between two worlds, two voices, two realities. I came to bring alignment, and alignment demands decision. I won't force it. I won't manipulate you. I will simply keep standing here, with my hand outstretched, waiting for the yes that will shift everything. You've given me your Sunday, but I want your Monday too. You've offered me your tears, now offer me your trust. You've cried out in the storms, now come sit with me in the stillness and let me speak what the noise has drowned out. Full surrender doesn't mean you have all the answers. It means you stop demanding control and start accepting my leadership, even when it moves in unfamiliar ways. It means when I say wait, you wait. When I say go, you move. When I say let go, you release, not with bitterness, but with confidence in my goodness. This is the moment I'm drawing a line between the old season and the new one. And you cannot cross it while carrying the parts you refuse to yield. I want to partner with you, not just patch you up. I want to dwell fully, not occasionally visit. I want to invade every room of your heart, not as a guest, but as the king. And when I take full residence, everything changes. You'll feel the peace that doesn't waver. You'll walk with direction that doesn't require confirmation from the world. You'll experience freedom that doesn't fade by the next morning. I'm not trying to take your freedom. I'm trying to redefine it. And it starts with a yes that doesn't retreat, a surrender that doesn't flinch, a trust that doesn't negotiate. This is serious, not because I'm angry, but because your calling is sacred, and your time is now. So choose me fully, not later, not after you've figured it out, not after you've tried every other option. Choose me now, completely, without a backup plan. And watch what I do with a heart that is finally, truly mine. My beloved child, I need to speak to the part of you that keeps saying, later. The voice within that promises to follow me after it feels easier, after the chaos settles, after you feel strong enough. That voice is not wisdom. It is hesitation clothed in delay. I'm not trying to rush you, but I must be honest with you. Divine moments have divine timing, and when you postpone obedience, you walk away from doors I had already unlocked. You don't always see what's hanging on the other side of your yes. You can't always measure what is being held in place, waiting for your alignment. But I can see it. The healing that's been positioned, the breakthrough hovering just above your surrender, the restoration waiting for your agreement. I don't give instructions to control you, I give them to connect you. Obedience isn't about rules, it's about movement. Every time you say yes, when I speak, something shifts. Heaven aligns. Darkness loses ground. Destiny breathes. But when you say, not now, when you say, Maybe later, you delay what I designed to be immediate. I see how you've reasoned with yourself. I'm not ready. I'm too weak. What if I fail again? But those are not valid excuses in my kingdom. I never called the ready. I called the willing. I didn't wait for perfection before inviting Peter to step out of the boat. I didn't ask Moses to be eloquent before assigning him to confront Pharaoh. I didn't demand flawless trust from Abraham before sending him into the unknown. I only asked for a heart that would move when I speak. That's what I'm asking of you now. Not tomorrow. Not once you've mapped it all out. Not once you've calculated the cost. But now, because the miracle I want to release is waiting on the other side of the thing you're still holding back. The instructions I give are not random. They are keys. They are timed. They are strategic. When you delay your yes, you delay access. You wonder why some things feel stagnant. It's because what I set in motion is still waiting on your obedience to catch up. You're not stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because you're undecided. I love you too much to divorce you, but I also love you too much to not tell you the truth. Some doors close, not because I didn't will them open, but because the window passed while you debated. Miracles are not always postponed because of warfare. Sometimes they are withheld by indecision. I am not condemning you. I am calling you up. I am showing you what your delay is costing. Not to shame you, but to free you. You don't see what I see. You don't realize how many generations your yes will affect. You think you're choosing for this moment, but in reality, you're choosing for a future you've never imagined. I am stirring your spirit now because something significant is on hold, waiting for your full participation. I don't want you to look back one day and realize the moment passed while you were second-guessing. I don't want you to mourn what could have been if only you had moved when I said move. You've already missed some things, but this isn't over. I'm merciful, and I'm giving you this moment again. A fresh opening, a renewed invitation. But it requires immediate response. Your partial agreement is not enough. Your delayed response will unlock what I'm trying to release now. Miracles obey my timing. When I say move, it's not just for your sake. It's because everything around you is also shifting. Creation responds to my word. Angels await my instruction. All of heaven moves in harmony. And when you hesitate, you step out of the rhythm. But I'm inviting you back into sync. I'm handing you a moment that can change everything. Don't let fear be your decision maker. Don't let analysis become your anchor. Just say yes, fully, quickly, without bargaining. And watch what I do when you finally align without delay. The miracle isn't far. It's just waiting for your next step. There is a movement waiting to be birthed through your obedience, and it cannot be delayed without consequence. My beloved child, this is no longer a matter of possibility. It is a matter of positioning. What I've prepared to release over your life is not distant, not conceptual, not someday. It is already in motion, already approaching, already drawing near with intensity. But hear me now, its arrival is directly linked to the urgency of your response. This is a divine intersection, not a flexible suggestion. There is something I have placed in front of you that requires not passive acknowledgement but decisive action. Heaven is watching. The timing of your response will determine the momentum of what unfolds next. I'm not asking for performance. I'm asking for participation. I've already written the next chapter. I've already cleared the path. I've already arranged the encounters, appointed the open doors, stirred the hearts of those who will assist you. But all of it hinges on whether you move when I say now. Not when it's convenient. Not when it feels secure. Not after you've gained the approval of others. But now, because what I'm about to do through you must begin in a place of radical agreement. Your hesitation will not stop me from fulfilling my plan, but it will alter how you experience it. Delayed obedience always rearranges divine timing. I long to do this with you, not around you. That's why I'm speaking with such clarity, because I refuse to let you miss what was crafted specifically for this season of your life. You've waited for doors to open, But what I'm doing now isn't just about doors, it's about divine assignments. Assignments that are time-sensitive. Assignments that require you to shift not just your actions, but your posture. You must lean forward, not lean back. You must step into the flow, not sit in hesitation. I am initiating something unprecedented, but it demands alignment. You don't need a 5-year plan. You need a surrendered heart. You don't need a perfect record. You need a willing spirit. You've prayed for me to move, and I've answered by inviting you to move with me. This isn't about worthiness. It's about readiness. Readiness isn't perfection. It's agreement. If you wait until you feel worthy, you will wait forever. But if you respond in faith, I will clothe you in grace and carry you through what you cannot carry on your own. I have it ahead of you. I have removed obstacles that you don't even know existed. I have silenced enemies who tried to block your voice before you even found your words. All of heaven is leaning in, waiting to witness your response, not because I need proof of your devotion, but because your obedience activates the spiritual sequence that was designed to elevate you. I know what lies ahead. I see what you cannot. That's why I'm pressing on your heart so heavily right now. You feel the urgency because I placed it there. You feel the pull because my spirit is tugging you into alignment. You don't have to understand every detail. You just have to trust that I do. What I am about to do in your life is not casual. It is not minor. It is not subtle. It will shake environments. It will impact lives beyond your own. But it starts with a yes that does not flinch. A yes that stands firm even when uncertainty tries to intimidate. A yes that says, Lord, I don't know how, but I trust that you do. This is not about opportunity, it's about destiny. You've been circling the same terrain, waiting for something to shift around you, but I'm telling you, the shift begins with your decision. Say yes with your mind. Say yes with your habits. Say yes with your schedule, your energy, your resources, your focus. Say yes even when your flesh resists. I am not delaying. I'm advancing. And I want you to come with me, but only your immediate response will carry you into the fullness of what I've already set into motion. This is not simply about stepping into a new season. It is about being pulled out of something that was designed to destroy you. My beloved child, I need you to understand. What I'm doing right now isn't only about increasing your joy or fulfilling your dreams. It is a divine intervention. I'm interrupting a pattern that was set in motion to lead you down a path of spiritual erosion. I've watched the enemy wrap his deception in beauty, package compromise in comfort, and present distractions as purpose. And you were on the verge of settling. Not because you were weak, but because the illusion was convincing. That's why I'm coming after you now with such urgency. Not to scold you, but to pull you out before it's too late. The road you were entertaining looked manageable on the surface, but beneath it were hidden snares, subtle decisions that would have hardened your heart one step at a time. You thought it was just a delay in direction, a pause to gather yourself. But in the spirit realm, it was a snare. One more step in that direction, and you would have wandered into a space where my voice would have grown quieter, not because I stopped speaking, but because compromise muffles clarity. I saw it coming. I saw how exhaustion made settling look like peace. I saw how disappointment made comfort look like cawing. I saw how isolation made attention look like love. And I could not stay silent. This is not about blessing you with more. This is about saving you from less than what I intended. You were meant to walk in authority, but the trap was designed to tame you, to soften your boldness, to weaken your hunger, to make you question what I already confirmed. It wasn't just a distraction, it was a strategy. A slow erosion of your discernment until you no longer recognized how far off course things had drifted. And still, I stepped in. That's why relationships suddenly ended. That's why certain doors slammed shut. That's why the peace you once felt disappeared when you lingered in that place too long. I closed the curtain before the performance of deception could begin. You cried over what you lost, but what you lost was a counterfeit covering. I'm revealing the trap because I want to restore your clarity. I want you to stop calling delays bad luck and see them for what they were: protection. You prayed for blessing, but I answered first with rescue. Because no true blessing can rest on a heart that is silently being pulled away from me. You didn't even realize how close you came to choosing something that looked like me, sounded like me, but wasn't from me. And that is why I intervened. What's coming next requires all of you, fully aligned, fully awake, fully guarded. And I couldn't let you carry poison into your promise. I'm calling you to step out of what's familiar but flawed, what's comfortable but costly, what's available but not appointed. I am not removing options to punish you. I am removing traps to preserve you. You asked me for more, and I'm responding by pulling you away from what was draining you without your awareness. You were tired, and the enemy wanted to take advantage of your weariness. But I saw it, and I move it. Because you are mine. Because your purpose is not casual. Because your influence is heavier than you realize. You can't afford to be ensnared. Not now. Not when your next step holds the power to unlock doors for others. This isn't just about your rescue. It's about the people tied to your freedom. So trust me as I pull you away. Trust me when I say no. Trust me when I remove what you thought you needed. I am not being harsh. I am being protective. I'm not just offering you an invitation into something greater. I'm shielding you from something deadly. You've been spared, even when you didn't see the danger. And that, my child, is how deeply I love you. There is a clock ticking in the spirit realm, one that the enemy hoped you wouldn't notice, counting down toward a moment he carefully crafted to catch you off guard. My beloved child, this is not imagination. It's spiritual intelligence. What you're sensing, that subtle pressure, the unexplainable urgency, the weight that feels heavier in recent days, that is discernment rising in you. And I placed it there because darkness has been scheming quietly, waiting for a breach in your focus, hoping you'd delay your response to my voice just long enough for him to gain ground. But I refuse to let that happen. I will not allow you to walk unaware into something that was never assigned to you. The enemy has set up a timed interference, not loud, not dramatic, but cleverly disguised to look like routine choices, emotional distractions, familiar temptations. It's been structured in such a way that it appears manageable, even normal. But its timing is intentional, because he knows something you haven't fully grasped yet. You are nearing the edge of a massive spiritual release. And if he can't stop it, he'll try to interfere with it, through delay, confusion, or disobedience. But hear me now. What the enemy has set in motion can be dismantled, disrupted, and overturned by a single act of obedience. My word to you today is not just encouragement. It is a divine alert. I'm exposing this assignment before it has the chance to take shape. I am issuing a warning not to intimidate you, but to awaken you to how significant this hour truly is. There are decisions you are about to make that look small, but they carry eternal weight. There are people reaching out to you who seem harmless, but their connection is not pure. There are opportunities that feel urgent, but they were not orchestrated by me. The enemy is leveraging your vulnerability, counting on your exhaustion, your impatience, your longing for something to change, hoping you'll move without asking me first. But I am here now, interrupting the narrative with clarity. Don't respond to the noise. Listen to my voice. Delay any move until you've heard from me directly. Do not let emotion become your compass. Do not let loneliness lead your decisions. Do not let temporary discomfort push you into premature solutions. I see the full picture. I see the trap dressed in opportunity. I see the enticement coated with half-truths. I see what's coming if you say yes to something I never sent. But I also see what will be broken if you stop and listen. My message is your escape. My instruction is your defense. My timing is your shield. You don't need to be afraid. You need to be alert. And you need to be responsive. Because your response to this word determines what you avoid and what you access. I am not, calling you to fear what the enemy has planned. I'm reminding you of the authority you carry when you move in sync with me. He cannot win where you remain aligned. He cannot touch what I have sealed. But the moment you begin to drift, to delay, to doubt, you create space for interference. That is why I'm speaking now, because you're too close to breakthrough to let interference step in. You've come too far to miss what's next over a misstep that can be prevented. I have placed discernment in you. I have stirred your spirit. And now I am calling you to pause, to evaluate, to test every voice, every opportunity, every invitation. Not all favor is from me. Not all momentum is divine. The enemy mimics movement to lure you away from your lane. But if you pause and press into me, I will make the difference clear. I will show you what's real. I will confirm what is safe. And I will dismantle what was meant to harm you. This is not a general warning. This is specific to your path, your next step, your current decisions. The enemy wants to act quickly, so I'm calling you to act wisely. And if you listen now, if you obey now, if you remain still until I speak again, you will not only avoid the trap, you will step into the exact space he tried to block. What he hoped would be your snare will become your stage. What he meant for disruption will turn into demonstration of my protection, of my wisdom, of my covering over your life. You faced opposition that came in waves, some subtle, others violent, and you've been told by the world to fight back using your own strength, to clench your fists, to brace yourself, to be tough. But my beloved child, the strength I've placed within you is not found in stubborn willpower or emotional endurance. It's rooted in my spirit. The reason you're still standing, even with all that's tried to knock you down, is not because you've been invincible, but because I've been immovable within you. There have been moments when the pain tried to convince you that you were done, that there was no fight left in you. But here you are, breathing, moving forward, even if slowly, because I've held your foundation firm when everything else trembled. You may not feel strong, but strength is not measured by how loudly you roar. It's revealed in the quiet decisions to not give up. And every time you've chosen to keep trusting me, even in your weakness, you flexed a strength hell cannot replicate. The forces that rose against you were designed to collapse your hope, silence your prayer, and steal your perspective. But they didn't succeed. Why? Because I've anchored you to something greater than your emotions. You were never meant to survive life through self-effort. You were meant to conquer by connection to me. I am your source. I am your defender. I am your stability when the ground shifts beneath you. And in me, you are stronger than the storm, wiser than confusion, greater than fear, and more resilient than the attack that was designed to undo you. I'm not asking you to fight harder. I'm asking you to stay closer. Because proximity to me multiplies power in you. I know you've grown weary. I see how you've questioned your ability to go on. I've heard the thoughts that whisper, I can't do this anymore. But those words don't offend me. They invite me. Because that's where I step in, not as a distant king but as your present help. You don't need to pretend to be fine. I already know. What I want is your agreement, not with fear, but with truth. The truth that your strength doesn't come from pushing through, it comes from yielding to me. You've been told strength is found in independence, but real strength is found in surrender. When you let go of carrying it all alone, I carry what you were never designed to bear. This isn't about trying harder. It's about trusting deeper. The enemy has tried to define your capacity by your past struggles. He's tried to convince you that your threshold is too low, that you're fragile, that you always break under pressure. But I say this to you, every moment you got back up was evidence of supernatural strength. Every time you forgave, kept going, believed again, that was my spirit alive in you. That was victory disguised as endurance. The same power that raised me from the grave lives in you, not just to comfort, but to conquer. And that means no lie is strong enough to label you. No memory is powerful enough to disqualify you. No mistake is final enough to cancel the resilience I've planted in your core. I've seen your tears, but I've also seen your tenacity. I've watched the attacks, but I've also watched the angels I sent to guard you. You survived what others did. You endured what would have broken you. And it's not because you're lucky. It's because you're chosen. Chosen to reveal that strength is not just surviving fire, but walking through it without the smell of smoke, because my presence was with you the whole time. So stop doubting what I've already confirmed in you. You're not too weak. You're not falling apart. You're being reinforced, refined, rebuilt with divine power that the world cannot explain. And I'm not finished. What's ahead will not break you. It will prove what's been growing in you all along. Unshakable strength, not born of this world, but of my spirit that never fails, never runs out, never backs down. You are stronger than what's tried to destroy you, because I am the one fighting within you. There is a rhythm to my voice, a divine cadence that carries both timing and intention, and when I speak, I do so with eternal purpose. My beloved child, you must understand, when I give instruction, it is not just direction, it is timing wrapped in divine alignment. And when you delay, even with good intentions, you begin to drift out of sync with what I have ordained. You thought you had time. You've assumed you could circle back. You've told yourself, soon I'll do it. Just not yet. But the enemy thrives in that gap, the space between my command and your response. In that delay, doubt enters. In that pause, fear grows. In that hesitation, momentum dies. And what was meant to be a straight path becomes a series of detours that drain your focus and blur your clarity. I'm not saying this to shame you. I'm saying this to save you. Because I see where every delay leads. I see how assignments get handed off to others because the original vessel kept postponing. I see how hearts become callous not from rebellion, but from waiting too long to obey. I see how fire turns to ashes when action is always scheduled for later. You've asked for me to move, but I've been waiting on your movement. The truth is, delayed obedience is still disobedience, not because you're rebellious, but because you've allowed comfort to lead when conviction was supposed to. My instructions are not optional suggestion. They are blueprints, and they are time-sensitive for a reason. I tell you to move because I've already prepared the place you're moving into. I tell you to let go because I've already seen the cost of holding on. I tell you to step out because I've already cleared the path you can't yet see. But when you wait too long, things begin to shift. Opportunities that were open begin to close. The grace for certain doors is tied to the moment you step through them. Not because I'm cruel, but because my timing carries power, and when missed, it alters outcomes. Do you realize what I've shielded you from simply by telling you now instead of later? There have been battles you never fought because you moved when I said go. There have been traps you never fell into because you turned when I said stop. But when you delay, you risk wandering into wars that were never assigned to you. The longer you hesitate, the more difficult it becomes to hear my voice clearly, because the enemy will begin to flood that space with distractions, voices, and counterfeit options that mimic what I originally told you. Don't fall into that trap. Don't let delay become your default. Obedience is not about understanding everything. It's about trusting that I know more than you. You say, I'm praying on it, but I say, you already have the answer. You say, I'm waiting for peace, but I say, peace will follow your step, not precede it. You say, I just need confirmation, but I've confirmed it through my word, through my whisper, through my signs. You don't need more information. You need bold surrender. And I'm giving you this moment to shift, to obey immediately, because the outcome of this season is attached to how quickly you respond. Don't miss what I've already prepared. Don't postpone what I'm trying to release. There's a reason the stirring in your spirit won't settle. It's because I'm calling, and the moment is now. If you'll obey, even while afraid, you'll see doors swing open that no delay could ever bring. But if you continue to pause, you'll find yourself asking me later why the opportunity passed. I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm trying to position you. I want to bless you in real time, not in theory. I want to walk with you into what's next, not circle the wilderness again. So hear me. The instruction still stands. The door is still open, but not forever. Obey now. Move now. Trust me now. The timing is sacred, and your obedience will unlock what you've prayed for faster than you ever imagined. There is a stirring inside you that you've been trying to ignore, suppress, or explain away, but it keeps coming back, doesn't it? That subtle discomfort, the way your peace has been replaced by a persistent inner tug, the way your heart feels unsettled in situations you used to tolerate. That's not anxiety, confusion, or random emotion. My beloved child, that's your spirit responding to me. It's your inner being, wakened by my nearness, reacting to the sound of my voice calling you deeper. I've been speaking more clearly than ever before, not with thunder, but with stillness, not with noise, but with weight. And your spirit, the part of you that was made to commune with me, is recognizing my movement before your mind can rationalize it. You've been asking, why do I feel like something is shifting? It's because it is. I'm near. I'm calling. And the atmosphere around your life is changing because I'm drawing you into a space of sacred alignment. What used to fit will now feel foreign. What used to fill you will suddenly leave you empty. The things that once satisfied your soul will begin to feel shallow, not because you've lost your joy, but because I'm expanding your hunger. I'm inviting you into depth. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it's discernment. And I've amplified it for this season because you need to hear me with clarity, without filters, without outside interference. You're not imagining things, you're sensing me. The tension you feel in certain conversations, the heaviness when you walk into certain rooms, the way your spirit recoils when compromise tries to appear subtle, that is not overreaction, it is revelation. I'm increasing your awareness so that you can walk with precision. This sensitivity is not to burden you, it's to protect you. It's how I keep you from missteps. It's how I warn you when something is off before your eyes can see it. It's how I whisper directions when the noise around you tries to drown out my truth. I'm not giving you this discernment so you can be overwhelmed. I'm giving it to you so you can remain unmoved. You've been chosen to walk in heightened awareness because of the territory I'm assigning you. You need to know what's of me and what's not. You need to feel the shift when I enter a room, and when I withdraw. You need to respond to my prompting immediately, not after confirmation from others. This sensitivity will become your compass, and I will use it to guide you through unfamiliar terrain. But you must honor it. Don't dull it. Don't ignore it. Don't apologize for it. What others call overly spiritual, I call spiritually prepared. You weren't created to live numb. You were designed to feel me, to recognize my presence in the middle of everyday moments. You are picking up on things not because you're emotional, but because I'm communicating. And if you keep brushing it off, if you keep silencing the unease, you'll miss the very instructions I've been trying to deliver. You've asked me to make things clear, and I have, through your spirit. So tune in. Stop brushing away what doesn't feel right. Stop entertaining atmospheres that quench my spirit. Stop silencing the voice inside that says, "This isn't me." I'm not distant. I'm not hiding. I'm not testing your endurance by staying quiet. I'm speaking, through conviction, through peace, through unrest, through fire in your chest when you step out of alignment. That's how I lead you. And I'm reminding you now because I need you to pay attention. Don't override the sensitivity I've placed in you by trying to be logical. Obedience doesn't always make sense in the natural, but it always carries safety in the spirit. Trust what I've trained your spirit to recognize. Trust what grieves your peace. Trust the pause I place in your heart when you're moving too fast. Your sensitivity is not a distraction. It's your signal. Follow it. Guard it. Respond to it. I'm not just teaching you how to hear, I'm teaching you how to follow without delay. And when you learn to move with what your spirit discerns, nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to derail what I've designed you to walk in. You don't need to lose everything to discover that I'm all you need. My beloved child, I've never designed your story to be one of desperation before revelation, collapse before clarity, or ruin before relationship. And yet, too often, my people run to me only after the storm has torn through what I tried to guard with a simple word of instruction. You've learned to respond when things are broken, but I'm calling you to come while things are still whole, before crisis compels you, before the damage is done, before regret becomes your motivation. You don't have to crash to be awakened. You don't have to hit rock bottom to hear my voice. I've been calling you not with threats but with invitations. Not with pressure but with presence. My nearness has been with you in the quiet, in the ordinary, in the spaces you pass through without even noticing. And still, I wait for your heart to turn toward me. You don't need to wait for pain to validate your need for me. I am your strength before weakness sets in. I am your covering before the storm arrives. I am your direction before confusion rises. Yet so often you let momentum carry you further and further, thinking things are stable, thinking you'll get serious with me once life slows down, once something shakes you hard enough to wake you up. But I never called you to wake up through disaster. I've been offering clarity and stillness. I've been reaching for you in moments of calm, hoping you'd respond before the waves rise. I'm not distant when things are going well. I'm not less needed when you're strong. But the human heart forgets so easily, and when everything feels manageable, it assumes divine guidance isn't essential. This illusion of control is one of the enemy's most subtle traps. He wants you to keep moving forward on your own, to depend on your rhythm, your plans, your capacity, all while slowly pulling you away from intimacy with me. Then, when something collapses, he plants lies in your mind that I'm punishing you, that I abandoned you, that I only draw near when there's trouble. But the truth is, I've been right here the entire time. I was the still small whisper in the midst of your loud schedule. I was the unease in your heart when you kept saying yes to things I never told you to carry. I was the quiet conviction when you drifted too far from the path I had lit. And still, you pushed through, not because you were rebellious but because you were distracted. You were doing good things, but they weren't always the right things. You filled your life with noise and movement, but your spirit grew tired, unnoticed. And now, the cracks are beginning to show. Not because I cursed what you were doing, but because what's not built on me will always start to shake. But I don't want you to wait until it collapses to call out. I don't want your worship to only come from wounds. I don't want your surrender to only rise from ruins. I want your response now, while you still have your strength, while your heart is still soft, while the way forward can still be shifted without damage. I'm not demanding panic. I'm inviting presence. Come to me now. Don't make tragedy your teacher. Let my love lead you instead. Let my spirit guide you before the road becomes hard to navigate. Let me be the center before the structure leans too far. This is not a warning rooted in fear. It's a call anchored in love. I know what's ahead. I know what you can't yet see. And I'm offering you a way out of chaos before chaos even knocks. You don't need to fall to realize I'm your foundation. You don't need to break to know I'm your healer. Choose me now, not because everything's falling apart, but because you finally realize I've been holding it together all along. There's a gentler way to be changed. Let this be that moment. There is a portion of grace, a divine assignment, a sacred opportunity with your name written on it, not someone else's, not a general blessing, but a personal release that I designed before time itself unfolded. My beloved child, what I've arranged for you is not random, nor is it interchangeable. It fits only you, shaped by your calling, refined by your trials, tailored by my hands to align with the very destiny I've written into your life. But I must speak to you with full truth. What I've prepared cannot remain idle indefinitely. My timing is holy. My assignments move in rhythm set by heaven, not delayed by earth's uncertainty. And while I am patient, I am also purposeful. And there comes a point when what has been held in place for too long must be given to a heart that is ready, even if that heart is not yours. I do not speak this to condemn you. I speak it to awaken you. Because what's waiting for you, the relationships, the doors, the resources, the revelation, is still there, but not for an unlimited time. I held it. I've guarded it. I've whispered to you about it in dreams and through confirmations, hoping you would begin to prepare your life to receive it. But preparation as a window, and you cannot keep assuming that divine opportunities will pause until you feel ready. I've sent nudges. I've stirred urgency in your spirit. I've brought the same message to you from multiple directions. And now I'm telling you plainly, the moment I prepared is almost here, and it will either land in the arms of one who is positioned or pass by those too distracted to see it coming. This is not about punishment. It's about divine flow. I move with purpose, and I won't allow eternal resources to sit unused because someone refused to move forward. What I've created for you still belongs to you, for now. But time is shifting, and what you do in this next stretch matters more than you realize. You said, God, I'm waiting on you. But I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting on the moment you would lay aside what slows you down, silence the voices that pull you off course, and say yes, not with your lips, but with your life. I am not holding your promise hostage. I'm holding it safely, but I will not hold it forever. Someone else's obedience will not cancel what I spoke over you, but their readiness can reroute certain blessings if you continue to delay. It's why I'm speaking now, to show you that what you've been praying for is closer than you think, but it will require action, commitment, and the willingness to walk through open doors before they shut. You are not too late, but this is your final alert to get ready. This is your notice that the weight of what's coming demands a new level of attention. You cannot continue living distracted, reactive, or half-invested. What I've prepared is heavy with glory, and it requires hands that are empty of lesser things. You will miss it if your grip stays on what I told you to release. You'll forfeit it if your ears remain tuned to other voices. You'll delay it if you keep treating sacred things casually. But if you will shift now, even today, I will not only hold it for you, I will deliver it. I will accelerate the unfolding. I will move you into rooms you didn't have time to earn, into blessings you didn't have the power to create. But it starts with reverence, with readiness, with realignment. Let go of the belief that what I offer will stay on hold forever. You won't. I give time, but I do not waste it. I send warnings, but they are filled with mercy. And this moment, is an expression of love. I want you to receive what I made for you. I want to place it in your hands. But your posture must shift. Now, your time is still open, but it will remain that way without your full surrender. Amen.